What is going on? Thanks for checking out the video. Last fall, when we went to the Paiute Trail, you remember Ron came down to ride with us. He's from the Spokane area, and he invited us to go up and ride in his home riding area. So, yeah, heck yeah, let's do it. We are actually heading up to the very northeast corner of the state of Washington in the Colville National Forest. This is one of the longest treks for one of these trips that we have ever made. We borrowed a flatbed trailer so we could take 2 Maverick Trails with us. There's no RV in this trip. We just stayed in a cabin. Oh yeah, and big thanks to Production Technologies too for letting us borrow that trailer. You know, we saved our butts. Thank you so much for the use of the trailer. But yeah, this is one of the longest treks we've ever made for one of these ATV trips. 700 miles each direction, about 12 and a half hours of driving each direction, and with the cost of diesel, of course we took it fairly slow just to try and get as good a fuel mileage as we could, but still took about 12 and a half hours each way. And it's mostly freeway, it wasn't bad, but made for a long day of driving each direction. This place is beautiful. Just wait until you see it. So good morning. We are up in about as north goes. We are up in northern Washington, just north of a little town called Colville. We're not actually in Colville, we're a little north, about 25 miles northeast of Colville at a campground called Beaver Lodge. I can't remember, but I'll put it down at the bottom. I think it's called Beaver Lodge. We're staying in a cabin. The rest of the group is here in the campground. Just a small group of us here. So let's start off by mentioning that I got kicked out of the Maverick Trail because Suzanne's got Frankie in there with her. So I am riding with TJ today in his machine following behind the Maverick Trail. So who we've got riding with us this weekend? Of course, we have Ron, the local. This is his backyard. He knows this area like the back of his hand, so he's showing us around. And he did a great job of showing us around. Thanks, Ron. Like I say, he's from Spokane area. We have Doug. Doug's also from the Spokane area. We have the old buzzard and his wife, Judy, that came up from Clarkston, Washington. And, of course, TJ in his machine and us in our machine. And then we also have the first Canadians I've had the privilege of riding with. Dawn and Sharon come down from Canada to hang out with us for the long weekend, and it's such a pleasure to meet them. I've known them through Facebook for several years now, but this was the first time we ever actually got to meet, and they are just wonderful people. This whole group was just a wonderful group of people. We had such a great time. I also should point out that I am running the camera today, so I'm not as good at it as Suzanne is, but I'm going to do my best. So you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. So we're headed out. Let's get going. Let's start day one. Wow, this place is Beautiful. Beautiful. So near as I can tell, I think that's north. Canada's not far away, but we're heading up to the top of one of these peaks right here. One of our destinations, one of them for today. Gosh, this has just been a beautiful day. It's been really wet and raining here for, I don't know, the last several days, last several months really. So everything's nice. There's no dust really, unless you're, some of the main Forest Service roads were a bit dusty, but all the trails are damp, no dust. Some mud holes here and there, but wow, what a great day this has been. It's beautiful.
Keep going by it.
Daylight on the horizon, shining back at me, makes me think of my baby coming home to me. Down the riverside flowing, oh, she's still there. I can't see where she's going, but I hope it's near. Life ain't what it seems. There's still a part of me that's trying. Come lay on my chest. You can find a little rest from hiding. Don't let this go. Don't let it fall away. Don't worry, we'll take it slow. Just don't let go. Don't let go. Daydreams falling like raindrops on the sky. Making plans, all I ever have dreamt of, falling through my hands. Life ain't what it seems. There's still a part of me that's fighting. Come lay on my chest. You can find a little rest from hiding. Don't let this go. Don't let it fall away. Don't worry, we'll take it slow. Just don't let go. Don't let go. Don't let this go. Don't let it fall away. Don't worry, we'll take it slow. Just don't let go. Just don't let
So we are trying to make our way up Old Dominion Mountain, kind of in the vicinity there. And we're struggling to get up to the top. Things are starting to get wet. Things are starting to get a little muddy. Some slide-offs and of rocks and things like that. It's starting to get pretty bad. And we eventually hit snow. Some pretty deep snow, and we're right near the top. Ron, our ride leader, he ended up getting stuck just high-centered in the snow. He was laying on the belly and his tires were just kind of hanging in midair, and he was pretty dang stuck. And it only got worse from there. Are you stuck?
Yeah, they picked my machine up.
So he had to winch forward to get to a place to turn around, and then Suzanne and TJ and I went up to that same kind of turnaround spot. The group, we radioed back, told them to find a place to turn around back down there, and it took a little while to get all of our train turned around and going back the other way. And as soon as we got grouped up back together, it was raining, and it was raining steadily, and just, yeah, it was just a miserable kind of cold rain. So now we're deciding what to do for the rest of the day. We're like, well, let's get off the mountain, let's head down in the valley, see how things look. And we got down there, and it was raining. Suzanne put her rain gear on, I had my rain jacket on. So at this point, what do? You know, we were gonna call it for the day for sure, but from here we just decided to head up to Ron's campground. He's got a big awning set up over a fire pit, and we thought, well, let's just go up to Ron's place, sit up there, get out of the rain, start a fire, and eat our lunch, and then we'll call it a day, you know. It was still, I don't know, 3 o'clock, 3:30 by the time all that happened, and so it was still a good day. We got to go back to the cabin and warm up by the stove and shower and dry off and warm up, and I ended up going over to Dan and Judy's trailer that night for dinner. There was one other place Ron wanted to take us that it just didn't happen. It was just getting too miserable. So, but that was it for day one. Yeah, great day. But there's a lot more still to come. 2 more days of riding up here. So stay tuned for part 2. Part 2 was a beautiful day. See you guys on the trail.